Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to do a video on how I use my hobonichi weeks. I had a comment asking to see more about my notebooks, so I thought I'd start with the hobonichi weeks. So this is it. I have the clear cover on it just to protect it because I bring it in my purse and I take it everywhere with me. Don't mind my bird, she's making all kinds of noises. But since I take this everywhere with me, I wanted to have a clear cover so that you know, the date didn't rub off. I think you might be able to see maybe a little tiny, you probably can't see it, a little tiny bit of the 3 of the 23 started rubbing off. And since I'm so like careless, I guess, with my books, like I just kind of, they just come everywhere and I don't really, they just come everywhere with me, and there's a lot of stuff in my bag that can rub on it, and it's just, you know, I put it in harm's way all the time, and that's just how I do it. So yeah, so this is the weeks. I think it's super cute. I got the little polar bears, and I think they're adorable. So right when you open it up, I have this little messy bun just chilling. I think it was a tag on something, but it was sturdy and it was cute, so I just keep it right here and I use it as a straight edge when I don't have my ruler. So yeah, that's what I use that for. And then I just keep like a little sticky note of just things to do that really have no time limit. And I mean, they have a time limit, but like they're just ongoing, they're not due for a while, so I keep a to-do list there. I haven't decorated this page at all. I don't really decorate these pages. Okay, so I tried to figure out how to use this. At first I was trying to use it to track my medications, but then that wasn't working out and I needed like 2 spots for one of my medications because you're supposed to take it in the morning and at night, but it just wasn't working out. So I scratched that and I started using it as a weight tracker, which I actually do really like this. I will continue to do this for May, even though I fell off it and I stopped doing it. So, but I want to keep doing it because I like it and that would be a useful thing for this spread. Next off, we have my monthlies. So I track my cycle with just a red dot at the corner. This is when I started using the hobonichi weeks, so this is my first official time in it. I do have a color coding system. My color coding system is right here. You probably can't see it, but I have work, appointments, social, family, and personal. So the orange is anything related to work or like a shift or anything that relates to work. The purple is appointments, so like I have my therapy appointment, so that's going to be purple, or any type of appointment is going to be purple. I have social, so anything that's has to do with people who are not my family, it's just a social outing, then I'll highlight it in blue. And then family is pink, so anything that has to do with my family, like birthdays or anniversaries, events like a family dinner or something like that, that all gets pink. And then I have these little green dots here. These represent my paydays. So I have one, I get paid bi-weekly, so I had one every other month, or every other week, I'm sorry. And yeah, then I would just write down in green how much I made that paycheck, and that was just the way I kept track of my income and how everything was working. Yeah, so those are my monthlies, and the same color coding system comes over to my weeklies. So this is last week. The way these are set up is I have my mood tracker at the top. I don't really get too specific into moods because I never know how I'm feeling, and if I have like multiple options, I'll be filling out like multiple things at a time. So I just have tired, okay, down, and productive is like do one thing. So I would consider that productive since, you know, depression and all that. So one thing is definitely a productive day for me, especially right now. So the next thing is I just have a running list of, hello Phoebe. So I have a running list of things to do that are not day specific. So like finishing reading my book, that's something I wanted to do, and it doesn't really need a day. It just gets finished whenever it gets finished. And then I have my habits down at the bottom. These are things that I want to keep track of, but I don't necessarily have to do every single day. So like I track my hobbies, like reading, and you're in the way. Can you move, please? Beep, 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 beep. So I track my hobbies, like reading and crochet. And I've noticed that when I usually do one hobby at a time. So like with this habit tracking, I'm noticing that I'm doing reading and crochet, and like on the different days that I don't do them. Does that make sense the way I said that? Probably not. I've noted, like when I read, I don't crochet. When I crochet, I don't read. So it's one hobby at a time. And then I track things that I should do every day, habits that I want to do every day. So we have like shower, makeup, filming, vitamins, stuff like that. So it's really just to see when I've done the things and just make sure I'm keeping up on my goals of wanting to do certain things every day. Over here we have the week at a glance, and my color code does transfer over here too. So it's the same color code. I've got a social event that's highlighted in blue. I've got a personal task that's highlighted in that minty green color. That would be this color. It's like a minty green type of color. I can never tell. And then I've got yoga with my sister, so that's highlighted in blue. And then this stuff is considered personal just because nobody else cares about it. Can you leave us alone? Nobody else cares about it but me. So I've got the mail time release date, which is a game. And then I've got the Zelda OLED Switch release date, which I just wanted to note and know that it was coming. And then my mom comes home. Oh, I forgot to mention. So highlighted in gray are things that don't affect me. Like things that I want to note, but they don't affect me personally. So I've got my mom comes home. So she was away in Nashville, I think. She was in Nashville. And she came home on Friday. So that doesn't affect me. I didn't need to go pick her up. So it's highlighted in gray. And then same for all the way down. And that's how I set my weeks. And then when something spans over multiple days, I just draw a line down the center and mark it that way. This also like kind of changes. I think that this is the exact layout I want to go with. So like this is this week, and then this is the next week that I've set up. So I think this is going to be my current system. But yeah, I did try using boxes at one point. Yeah, like I would use this for events and things that I had to do that day. I would use this side for events, and then this would be tasks to do that day. So like time specific, not time specific. And this was the first week I used it, so this should be over here. But yeah, that's how I've been using my weeks. Next up is the notes pages. So I've got I was using this as an index, but I haven't been keeping up with it. I might go back in and fill it out some more. So I've got my morning routine and my wish list just so I can find them quickly. And I do have some journaling in here too. So I just put notes and lists back here. So this is like a pen test page. And I've got one habit, like planning stuff. So like, what's one habit I want to track all year? Use my planner every day this year and track my morning routine. So that's the kind of stuff that ends up back here. I've got some goals and habits that are up here. And then we've got some journaling, and this is my morning routine. So I've got it separated into three. Stop jingling my keys. I've got this split up into three different things. So I've got high energy, low energy, and no energy. So depending on the energy level that I'm at when I wake up in the morning, that's the morning routine that I'm gonna follow. So it gives me something to look at to remember what to do, because I'm ADHD, so I have a hard time like figuring out priorities and figuring out what needs to be done. You know, when things start piling on and you've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things you need to remember to do just in the morning, I need to have some type of reference to like remember all 7 steps or like what order they're gonna go in. It's just nice to have that on paper. So that's why I have that there. I've got a wish list, gift ideas, random things to do, things to buy, more journaling. I've got a page listing monthly stuff that I'm looking into. And then I've got a reading list here. Oh shoot, I forgot to fill in the day, finish that. Obviously this is not going very well, but I do have a reading list here, and then I was looking into opening up an Etsy shop, so I had like an Etsy to-do list that I did make some progress on, and it's one of those things that are kind of going into the doom box to die, so I'm not really focusing on that right now. And then my reading list, I used it for a little bit, kind of fell off. I haven't been reading much anyway. I have to find a new book to read, so we have that. And then we have April habit tracker. So I tried doing habit tracking, so I figured a monthly might work, but I fell off it at the end. I didn't even finish it, and I stopped tracking halfway through. Like, none of these things are accurate because I just didn't fill it out. Probably because it's in the back of the book, and it takes like mental energy to know, to like think about it, like where it is in the book. So I did have it tabbed, but that didn't work out super well. It didn't get used. So I need to think of a way to use them, but I don't actually, because I'm using weeklies. And then over here I have a grid spacing page. Grid spacing pages are actually really helpful. They help you to figure out like the midlines and like thirds, or however you want to measure it out. So I always recommend having a grid spacing page. I've seen people like draw in the lines of where halfway is, so you really don't have to think about it and you can just go in and look. That's the grid spacing page, and I recommend you have one. Now we have pen testing page. I was testing out my ink. I think that's in journaling vlog number 1, when I was testing out this new ink that I got from Jet Pens. And then I have, I'm literally just writing nonsense in these pen colors just to test out the pens. Then I have a list of video ideas. This is my May habit tracking, which is, I'm already 2 days behind, which really sucks. This is the way that I'm doing it this month. I wanted to have different boxes for each habit, and I haven't even finished filling out the habits. I need to work on myself. I wanted to have a calendar layout because I found that with this type of habit tracker, I was like confused what day was what, like coming down here and not being able to see like where the lines are or connecting down. It was just difficult for me to keep up with my eyes. So that's why I'm trying it this way. Then everything can have its own specific monthly box, and I just look at the day and see if I did it that day, and that's easy for that. And then over here I just have some notes that I was taking on ADHD and working memory and stuff like that. Anything goes in here really. And then that's it for the notes pages. But anything goes back here, whether it's, I've decided I don't like journaling in here. That's something I don't want to do anymore. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my hobonichi weeks. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I think I might have gotten caught up and been talking like way too fast and kind of ran out of breath there, so sorry about that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry there's no journaling vlog this week. With the thing that happened, I'm not in a place to be doing much, so that's why there's no journaling vlog this week, because I wasn't doing anything and there was nothing to film. I've just been laying on the sofa all day. I will see you next week with hopefully another journaling vlog. I'm kind of just taking it, whatever I feel like making is what's gonna come out, so if you like videos like these, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye.